Okay, sir. Okay. Sure. Yes, sir. Good morning once again.
Please share your PPT. In the meantime, we are starting. Priyanka, please start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So once again, a very good morning to all. Welcome back, everyone. So this is the second. So shall I start?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Okay. So this is the second session of last day of faculty development program. In the last session, we had learned all about MS project from an expert engineer Mukesh Dubey sir. Now it's time to begin the second session. It's an honor to have been given the chance to introduce Engineer Sanjay Chopra sir, ex-engineer from L&T. Now he's present. He's a freelancer since 2011. Engineer Sanjay Chopra sir completed his BE Civil from NIT Surtakal. He has many more bachelor degrees in construction management, bachelor in building and quantity surveying, total quantity management. Then he went out to complete his PGDBA finance from Symbiosis. Sanjay Chopra sir has more than 29 years of rich experience in site management, project planning, execution and monitoring in construction management, and also have an experience in multidisciplinary sectors like building, industrial, transportation, etc. As his achievement cannot be summarized in such short spell words. So without any further ado, I would request Engineer Sanjay Chopra sir to come forward and deliver his speech on new trends in construction technology. Sir, please. Welcome, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody, once again. And thank you, Priyanka, madam. And thank you, Vikas, sir, for giving me an opportunity to share with you the latest trend in the construction. Before I start, I hope people are well versed with this industry from our regular civil construction. Here, only difference is in the last some 5 to 10 years, we can say this new technology has come up and taking a very fast pace with respect to the concern in India, construction with respect to in India. Otherwise, if you see, this type of construction is very well being used in the last 50 years, rather more also in countries like America, European countries, Australia, New Zealand. They are extensively using this technology because for the various reasons. We will cover up those reasons also later on when we cover up this PPT. But to give you just a glimpse, the basic reason what I can see and what my experience when I have worked with this industry for the last 10 years, before I have worked with Larsen and Toubro for 20 years and being a hardcore construction guy, my experience is slowly and steadily over the period of time, what has happened is the labor shortage has arisen. Material, a lot of areas, if you see, mining is now being banned. You don't get quality material. You get very high rates of aggregate sand. The quality of sand is not good. Brick kilns are getting obsolete. So looking at all these factors, because if we see in the industry, there are 3, 4 things only which we require: men, material, money, machinery. So now what happens is, earlier in India, machinery, it was very less because men were the so available machinery that we used to work only on the using our men as a machinery. And then this material and your this money and machinery. So now men has getting reduced, so machinery is getting uplifted. So most of the items, if you see in day-to-day construction nowadays, even in regular civil construction, if you see, the machinery has taken a very drastic change in the construction industry. Now bridges are being constructed. Earlier, it used to take 6-7 years to construct a normal regular bridge over a river. Now it was only taking only 2 years. So coming to steel construction is again is being used in the last 100 years. Even if you see very old railway bridges, still it is being used in India and earlier also. Now slowly, now the progress has made availability of manufacturing of steel is now available regularly. So now people are turning to new age construction technology, and in this particular steel construction, the new age construction is using cold form steel in the form of light gauge steel structures. Light gauge will keep this moving forward. Now we move to the next level. See, our objective of this particular presentation is to bring in awareness and understanding of LGS and CSF. See, these are a common term which sometimes called as as a LGS or cold form steel. Light gauge steel is normally made from cold form steel sections. It is a process in the form of cold form. Like other structure members, you get it as a hot rolled sections. This is a cold form sections. This PPT is for all construction contractors, government, non-government, engineers, faculty, students, architects, and even for a common people also. Because many common people are also taking interest in new construction technologies, looking at the ease of the construction. And we will respect all the audience who are here to do more research on the subject, and they can always contact me whenever they require any more information and all. And during this making of PPT, we have used my own experience and used some photographs which I was associated with the company and from the net and all these things. Now, the potential application areas of this particular technology. If you see, it is everywhere. Residential, hospitals, hotels, commercial, government offices, schools, hostels, resorts. You name a potential area, you can have the technology being used in that particular area. If we talk about residential, I will say, of course, in cities right now, in residential, it is not very popular, but as in residential, how it is popular, I'll tell you, rooftop structures, where many people already they have very old buildings or they have exhausted their FR. They want some structure on the rooftop. So you cannot have a permanent structure. So this though this falls in the category of removable type of structures. So that is why people are opting for construction of additional floors or even in the old buildings also. Hospitals many a times, you know, let us assume a hospital has been made 20 years back, then the FAR may be different. Now with the requirement of the increasing population and everything, with the new FAR rules, hospitals have the liberty to take another floor on the top of that. But since regular construction is a very tedious and a long process, so many hospitals, they tend to go for these type of structures where they get faster turnaround. And also I tell you, potential application areas in this particular technology is very beneficial for the industries where there is a revenue generation directly impacting them. Now, if you see hospitals, hotels, commercial, resorts, all these are direct implication of the your revenue generation. Suppose a regular construction takes about 12 months to complete, and if you get that completed in 6 to 8 months, definitely you get the leverage of starting your revenue generation early. So that makes it offset to the even the increase, little bit increase in cost of the steel or something like that. Hotels is now they are very well using these kind of technology because they normally in a year, most of the areas, many areas in countries, in a country like us, you get a lean period of about 5 to 6 months. So in that lean period, they can go for the expansion of their hotel. Commercial, it is a viable option where there is a commercial construction is happening. Normally, if you see latest trend in commercial construction is now steel construction only. All the malls, they are normally going for steel structures. Though they are using heavy steel structures, but our focus here will be more on the light gauge steel frame structures. Though we are not limiting that to light gauge steel frame, but we want to make sure that light gauge steel frame as a new technology is a viable option for all these industries. There are some constraints of each and every technology. Though it is being a light gauge steel construction, the major constraint is we cannot go for very large span of construction with this. Still, it has not been tried. But as a load bearing, non-load bearing, both places it has been used. Government offices, many of the government offices are now being opting for these type of technologies. The latest being is everybody has heard of your Central Vista project of Parliament, which is happening in Delhi. So to make way for that project, they have to remove many offices. Now to construct those offices within a short period of time, they have opted for this technology. This is a hybrid technology, we can say. In this photograph also, if you see the top one photograph is a hybrid kind of construction, where the main frame of the structure is not RCC, but it is hot rolled steel, heavy steel, we can say. But all the partition walls are being, those are considered as a non-load bearing wall has been designed here. They are being used as a, from the cold form steel or light gauge steel, whatever we can say. But the bottom of the structure, if you see, the total building is made using light gauge steel frame. In schools, definitely it is a viable option because sometimes, again, I told about FAR, not only FAR, sometimes like we are in the month of July, suppose a school wants to expand their unit and want to start their session next year. Any school with a full-fledged facilities will definitely take more than 12 months to construct. So with this kind of technology, they can think of planning right now and turn around that school before March itself so that they can have the new admissions. Hostels everywhere, whether it is college hostels or hostels in the open spaces where regular stay hostels, we can say, for the public or something like that can be constructed using these type of technology. Resorts is a very viable option for these type of technologies because normally resorts are found most of the areas where there are little bit of hilly areas. Though there are resorts in plain areas also, no doubt, resorts or farmhouses or something like that. But in hilly areas, this is a very beautiful option where you have scarcity of water, you have scarcity of uh, material, you have scarcity of the people staying over there. So this is a very easy option with the easy foundations. You can have all material prefabricated in the factory and just you have to go there and assemble it, and just a matter of months you can have your resort. And I will request the audience, if you have any some questions, you can jot it down. And at the end of the session, we will try to cover up as much as possible. Otherwise, we are always available for your queries. If you see the technology users for information, this is technology is now very well defined in chapter 26 of the CPW DSR, where you can go and go through all new technologies. Chapter 26 is basically they have kept it for all new technologies. So earlier it was not there in DSR. So many a times you have to go and push the system, push this technology to the people, to the department, government department also. So now over the period of time when they have used this technology and they have found that this needs to be incorporated in the regular system, so they have introduced this in the chapter 26 of CPWD DSR. BMTPC, that is a Building Material Technology Promotion Council. They are promoting this technology. They approve this technology also, and many other new age construction technologies. GST is a this in 2018, 18-19, our Prime Minister has introduced one global housing technology competition for their dream project of housing for all by 2022. So under that, already 6 locations projects are going on. They have using different technologies. Out of this, one of the technologies, this light gauge steel also. NTPC, NHPC, these are all government bodies. They have already used this. ONGC, OPGC, Life Mission Kerala. This technology has come up in Kerala after the floods. I think 3-4 years back when there was very heavy flooding. So the government has come out with a new technology of this hybrid construction to use in their regular housing provision to their people, so that they get relief from this, because this is a technology where you can design accordingly your structures so that it does not get affected in the flood, because low-lying areas and all these areas you can have stilt. Individual houses cannot have stilt. That becomes very costly for them. PWD, Himachal Pradesh, they have already using it. PWD, many places they are using it. Kailash Mansarovar Yatri Niwas in Sikkim, they have already using it. Schools, courts in PWD Delhi is using it. Courts expansion is going on in Delhi, where they are using it. Central Vista project, I have already told you about that. Health centers in various states, they are going with this kind of technology because they are very fast. They have very simple foundation they have to make, and everything is prefabricated. Housing projects in various states now coming up with this. UPRN in Uttarakhand, tourism, Bangalore, West Bengal, Army, BSF, CISF, they have all their own challenges. So they want to use this kind of technology where it becomes easy and feasible for them to go for faster construction. Almost all the states are using it, even in private schools, hospital, resorts, houses, which I have already talked about. Moving forward, we have formed as a proprietary firm 2012. Just about small brief introduction about ourselves as a construction solutions. So our main motive is to bring in innovation and mechanization in the industry, inspire youth to go for entrepreneurship in this kind of industry. Also, we are training, imparting and training to fill in the gap between academic and industry requirement. This actually came into my mind only when I was in L&T, and when we used to have people directly from the college. Though I have also directly joined L&T from the college. So initially, I also faced a lot of difficulties in accommodating and understanding about the industry requirement, though we learn a lot about theory or something like that. So imparting industry requirement, that is a major requirement. If you see in the same contest, Skill India is happening nowadays, where they are trying to understand the industry requirement, skill of the industry requirement, and then training people according to that requirement and sending it to the industry. Support industry for fast-paced growth, providing technical support. We offering our services as a value engineering, as a consultant, as a training and development of new and existing employees, and grooming engineers also, academia also, like the final year students, where they need immediate requirement for the industry skills. So that is one option. And another option is right from the second year, whatever subjects are being taught, it has direct implication with the practical aspect of the industry. So if we start from that particular point of view, it does not require a daily requirement to have an interaction. It can be fortnightly, it can be monthly also. So with the help, the students get lot of knowledge about the industry on those particular subjects, so that when they go into the industry or they see day-to-day activities going on around them, so they just correlate very easily to that. So moving forward, now we come to our again back to our topic of construction. See, if you see the construction, everybody knows it is a process that is considered building, assembling of various elements. It is one multitask. Has to do multitasking work at side to complete a project. It is major contributor to the economic growth. Almost it takes about 30 to 35 million of workforce, and it is next only to agriculture, which is providing uh, even employment generation also. One of the oldest industries. If you see in the pre-independence area, normally the construction activities were confined only to the small dwelling units, religious places, no heavy construction, nothing like that. Post-independence, the construction scenario has changed. It has expanded villages to metropolitan cities, connectivity issues, infrastructures, railways, all these things have come up, multi-story buildings, all these things. An increase in demand has resulted in shifting from one technology to the another. If we see, there was lime surki mortar to ready mix concrete to lime surki mortar to cement mortar to ready mix concrete, concrete frame. Earlier, there was brick frame only as a load bearing, then concrete frame, then now steel frame. So over the period of time, things are changing and new technologies are being adopted. Further understanding about this conventional construction, if you see, these are the basic components of strip footings or raft footing. There are types of footing. Then columns are even some for very high structures. Then to have a in between intermediate slabs, it is called as floor slab. Then on the top, roof slab. Then there are other components also to finish this total building, like your finishing items, doors, windows, electrical, plumbing, flooring, glass work, woodwork. So a lot of things are involved, and if we normally see, and fee itself is 4%, and this we have divided, and we have it can be slightly varying also. You need not have to see that if it is 8%, it will be 8%. Somewhere it may be 7%, somewhere it may be 7.55, it may be 8 or 9 also. But these are the basic components. If we see, it comes under total breakup, layout and excavation. You require water, soil, total cost of the project, 1% of water. If you consider 100 crores of project, 1 crore of requirement is of water only. But if you go to steel construction, you will see that it comes almost a dry construction. Then soil, cement, sand, bricks requirement, stone aggregate, steel rods, doors and windows, shuttering formwork requirement, even bore wells are required some places, plumbing and sanitation, electrical works, flooring. So putting all together, if you break up this total structure, so this comes out to be so many activities in this. And basic construction materials are, everybody knows, everybody has seen all this material, cement, reinforcement steel, bricks, aggregates, sand, water, wood, and all other associated items which require for the completion of this construction. This is a typical site layout. If you see, if you want to go for a construction of a, suppose this is a proposed 5-story block, so you need this much of area to for the preparatory activities. Like here, you have to have a mess and drying rooms, this site staff car park, toilets, this garage, paved area, roadway, bending reinforcement, formwork, timber storage, site offices, visitors car park, toilets, timekeeper office, and scaffold storage. And then only you can have this kind of, even a mixer machine is also required, tower crane, material storage. So this takes lot of space also, if you see, for the construction of during the construction also. And if you just have a look at the construction site photographs, for even we have taken this for a small buildings only, you see a lot of scaffolding is required, lot of many activities, and sometimes this become very unsafe also. If we see, uh, while doing these kind of activities, people get injured also many a times. If proper protection is not being taken, if proper protection of scaffolding is not taken, people working without safety belts or something like that, proper railings are not provided. Though here it has been used, but this is a side of a complex construction, we can say. So with these few things, we can say that conventional construction, see, it does not mean that conventional construction does not have a value or conventional construction has come to a end of the road. No, but wherever there are public projects, cost is the major component. There still conventional projects are being done in the conventional construction way. It is time consuming. They require high energy consumptions. They are polluting. Nowadays, if you see in cities like Delhi, every then and now due to pollution, the first major impact on the stopping of industry comes to construction. You stop the construction activities as if they are the only polluting industry, but it is a polluting industry because a lot of cement, sand is being used, lot of movement of vehicles are there. So there, if you see, a lot of pollution generates. Non-eco-friendly because we are using only materials. We are not replenishing it. Mining is going on, but it is not being replenishing it with how we are going to replenish it. Nothing. So we are just excavating. High water consumption. It is not only at site. Lot of water consumption is used for the reduction of the your pollution. Nowadays, it has happened. Every now and then, you have to engage a tractor on the road, on your site area, so that whenever there is a vehicle plying, it does not pollute the environment. It is creating ecological balance. What I have said is we are just doing a lot of mining work, and it is creating ecological imbalance, and warming up is happening in the whole earth. Non-availability of skilled workers in conventional construction. Now everybody is facing the problem of skilled workers, because earlier it was used to be skilled workers, we used to get it from particular areas. If we right today also, if you see, we used to get a lot of carpenters from Bengal area, Jharkhand, and all these areas, Odisha, Bihar side. But now with the happening of Manrega, many people are getting job in their area only, and many of the people are not migrating to the other places. But even if they are migrating, they are charging very high. So that is also the scarcity. High probability of damage to life and property during natural calamity. In conventional construction, we have seen natural calamities when happened. The life and property damage is very huge. Whether it reminds us to all the earthquakes which have happened in the past in Gujarat and all other places also. Now why we are promoting steel? Why we are looking for alternative options? Because steel is eco-friendly. Eco-friendly means it is recyclable. It can be reusable. And while mining also, if you see very high-rise buildings, any high-rise buildings in residential areas also, when going beyond the limit of the RCC design, you have to go for steel buildings, maybe using as a covering up that steel with the construction, civil concrete structures. So it can stand as a hybrid structure with the steel as the core, and then cover up the steel using normal concrete. But the requirement of the concrete reduces. Job site wastage, it is a greater recyclability, accelerated building schedule, 1/3 of the time savings are there. Even more can be done when we are designing the steel buildings. It has reduced water consumption at site, practically going for dry construction only up to foundations. You require some water requirements. Otherwise, on the top of that, it is mostly a dry construction type. Overall, it gives lightweight because it reduces the weight of the foundation also. That gives light foundation, faster erection and revenue generation. It stops fire and flame spread also if properly protected and the treatment is done at site. Enhanced thermal efficiency, reduced electricity are also being seen in steel buildings when they are used with proper insulating materials. Now, what we were talking about cold form steel and light gauge steel buildings, this is typical light gauge steel building, which on a standalone can go for G+3, G+4 also. But here to show the components, we are showing this breakup of a small building. If you see the foundations for a building like G+1, you can have a properly compacted ground. And on the top of that, 6 to 8 inches of concrete is good enough to take the foundation load for this type of buildings, if we have a proper soil conditions below. Even if not that, we can have very lightweight foundations below these walls, and then we can start up the construction. These are steel frame. This is steel frames, wall frames. These are all load bearing. These are joist. Once these smart steel is placed, these after putting this joist and everything and aligned and everything is done, then this building paper is placed on that. We will see later on also step by step how this construction is being done. It is only to give what are the materials being used. Then cement planks. Uh, this Everest cement planks we have taken because these photographs we have taken from Everest when we were working over there. Cement planks are basically fiber cement boards, and many industries nowadays are making it in India. There are 5, 6 companies making it, and there are few companies who are importing it also. Then for the roof, these are again smart steel trusses. On the top of that, for insulation purpose, radiant heat barrier is provided or fiberglass insulation is provided. And then we can have the metal sheet or shingles or even tiles, mangrove tiles in southern area where people love to have mangrove tiles on the top of that. And for this intermediate floor, we can have the Everest, fiber cement boards, or even we can provide the deck sheet, and then we can go for a thin layer of concrete about 50 to 75 mm. So this is how, and then these boards which are placed, they are comes in the size of 4x10, 4x8, and they are screwed to the these steel frames, and then the joints are being filled up with the jointing material, and normal painting is required. What we use conventional, they are used. Foundation, this flooring also, we can use tile flooring, we can use wooden flooring, we use stone, marbles as per the requirement. This is just a comparison for small buildings. Of course, for very high-rise buildings or very high buildings where we have talked about hybrid construction, definitely all design requirements are followed and as per the IS codal provisions only. But if you go for a small buildings, as we are talking about, steel building proves to be light. This proves to be still we have to go for either these spread footing, all this type. Construction time reduced. Construction is always neat and very easy to it, and assembly at site only. But this requires more time because it's a stage construction. With the foundation, you can see other component manufactured is complete. You can just simply erect the top of the structure. Labor requirement is less. More labor is required for civil construction. And even in this pandemic, if you see, this is a major boom construction. Major of the projects conceived in steel because most of the thing, and then you have to come to the site with all those components and assemble it and to do the instruction. Less labors. Water requirement, we have said earlier also, not required only up to the foundation where you need to do some curing and everything. Otherwise, in normal civil construction, if you see all over the till we finish the top of the structure, we have to keep on doing curing, and that whole water gets actually wasted when it runs down to the ground. Reactions, if you see steel components, these are all very knit, very well knit together components, and during the seismic activities they behave in a much better manner than if you see the normal construction. Uh, I don't say that civil constructions are totally failure, but many places in very high seismic zones, when the disaster struck and the building gets damaged, the damage to the loss to the human beings and property is very huge. If so, once the structure gets heated up, to cool it down, it takes a lot of energy to cool it down. And once again, when it has cooled down, it takes a lot of energy to heat it up in winter. But in steel constructions, at every stage, insulation properties play a major role. In the wall component area, rock wool is being used. Again, on the rooftop, either the glass wool or radiant heat barrier is being used as an insulating material. So that helps in having the better insulation properties in the steel building. So if we summarize all these things, if we see the cost, initial cost a little bit high because of the lot of steel is being used as a frame, but it gets offset by the construction time and durability. In RCC, the initial cost seems to be less, but it's very time consuming. Water consumption is less, here it is very more. Sound insulation in steel, by using much more better properties of the insulating material, we can even design more than 38 dB. But in RCC or brickwork, we have to keep on adding material on the top of that. And that increase the weight also and space also. Construction time is 1/3 of conventional, 1/3 gets reduced of the conventional. It is a long duration. Fire, it is better fire protection we get. The steel totally gets covered with the many of the other materials which are fire retardants like fiber cement boards. Future expansions, if properly thought of before this, they are easy. But in civil construction, it is becoming very tedious. This is eco-friendly, less polluting, that is more polluting, recyclable, it is always recyclable. RCC construction, earlier it was used to be totally non-recyclable. It was used to be only for a filling of some low-lying areas. But slowly, it is again now been trying to use some of the RCC coming out of the large projects to be used in recycling and in the some of the road projects, not as a direct component of the structure. One more thing I want to add on here is with the steel construction, the wall thicknesses gets reduced. In suppose in brickwork, we have a 230 thick of brick wall. Here, if we are constructing G+1 or G+2 story, it does not require more than 150 thick of wall construction. So with that, what happens is your the carpet area increases inside the building. You get a more carpet area. Now we talk about form steels. So we have CFS also in short form we talk about. It's made from the sheet. And in India also now companies are making it, Tata and Jindal and all. It was to be brought from outside and made to the shape. This solid steel is passed through series of rollers and then press the steel into thin sheets of specific thickness, strength, and their physical properties as per the requirements. The sheets of steel are then sent to continuous hot process. It's a metallic coating of zinc and aluminium galvanum. Normally, we see if these kind of thin sections you must have seen in market also, and even we have used in our day civil construction like fall ceiling. They are not using grips. Grips provide much better properties against corrosion than only zinc sheets. They are rolled into master coils and bended. The production is being done. All the panels start joist steel made shaping and a small if you take, if we have done this experiment even at a very younger age also, and sometimes as a if I say for the uh, for teaching purpose also, if you want to teach that how different shapes take better load, if we have a small cardboard, say about 1 mm cardboard, not even 1 mm cardboard, just 0.5 mm cardboard, or even if you take a A4 sheet size paper, plain paper, if you just put that plain paper between two supports, and if you try to put a load, it will not be able to sustain not even anything load. Same if you roll it and put between two supports and then try to put that load on the top of that, definitely it will take load. Make it into C section, into the angle section. So very good capacities can be determined using that. So that is how, if you see these thin sections are made to particular specific shapes, and they are probably into those specific shapes and they're used in the industry. Remember, ice sections are formed and rolled while red hot, or steel framing is takes place when the steel is at normal temperature, and hence the term it is called as cold forming. So cold form steel structures now even being used in the industry as high as 3 mm, 4 mm, 5 mm, being trying to cold form to make the joist on all these things. Am I'm audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you. So now we will see this step-by-step procedure for light gauge steel frame construction, where we get a general arrangement from the architect, or whoever wants to construct this has to have a general arrangement drawing made from the architect. So once this general arrangement drawings is properly fixed and done, then one second here. So then we have to go for the decision of the elevation also. What is the kind of elevation we require for this particular plan? Once these are decided, then the light gauge steel frame construction using this G and elevation and details, CAD drawings of LGS wall joists, roof trusses are prepared. And here I want to add to your knowledge is that these light gauge steel frame construction, as of now in India, what we are using is normal steel code is being used. The companies which were providing the machine for this kind of framing of these structures, they have their own proprietary design standards as per their area. And they have done the all research and analysis done, and all softwares are provided with that. But in the last 10-15 years, when lot many projects are being done in India, when it was being taken for the vetting to the IIT, and those people have also now seen how it is correlating with the other codal provisions of the other countries, and what kind of factorizations has to be changed or like added or reduced or something like that. So based on that, these are all designed using those software machines. So normally, whichever company is providing this machine for the framing, they provide the software also. Now, India, it is in the advanced stage of that I code for light gauge, particularly for the light gauge steel frame. But still, using STAAD and all these processes, directly using their softwares, buildings are being taken up, and that is being acceptable in the industry. See, this is a kind of a machine. This is one of the kind of a machine. If you go on the net, you will find lot many companies producing these kind of machines. And cold form steel or this light gauge steel frame, it is not only restricted to this. If you go for if you see the structures like light post on the road, they are also cold form steel. They are not being taken small plates or welded or something like that. They are cold formed to these shape and then tack welded to the place to make it 100% either circular or or whatever it is. You can say hexagonal shape or whatever it is. Now, if you see here, this particularly machine, there is a strip is entering into this machine. So in this machine, when the strip enters here, so it has a lot many rollers inside that before the section comes out of the here. You see this section coming out. This is a plane, and there is a section coming out from here. And this is where you have just put the command to this machine. What number of the segment you are making, whether it is wall, truss, it is all fitted into that. And then you have to just click, just like we do it in our CNC machines and all these things. All these things are packed, and then all this material is transported to site. See, this is a kind of a foundation. If you see the foundations, this is a simple foundation. It is being done, beam type of foundations, and all the services are being placed. And now if you see, when these foundations are being done, all the materials were being prepared in the factory. So once these are getting ready, the whole material gets ready over there and transported to site. On-site assembly and erection, it is done, and things are made very easy. Now, once the framing is done, you see there is a we talk this as a breather foil also, breather paper. This act as a two purpose to the one is it protects the steel. How it has a it is interwoven in such a way that it does not allow the precipitation to happen due to the change in temperature on the steel surface side. Even a small precipitation happens due to its breathable property, that it gets evaporated. And then on the top of that, this fiber cement board is placed. No, there is a lot of things where people say about the MEP, how this MEP is being taken care of in all these structures. Now, if you see these structures, these are all type of a C type of a structure with small lips on this, and in between the gap, all these our plumbing and electrical services, we can all plumbing electrical services we can put inside this, and then we will be covering this inside as we normally go for our RCC work or brickwork. Now, if you see, when you do all these things work, there is no chipping required, no chiseling required. So definitely there will be no wastage of material, accumulation of waste on the at the site. Only thing is we have to properly before plugging in these inside, we have to properly check it so that we need not have to reopen it uh, and rectify it. Like our plumbing lines are need to be checked for the leakage so that later on it does not become a nuisance. Even we are checking it for normal construction also, brickwork and all these things. This is an intermediate floor. Normal, simple RCC, we have to do it with a nominal reinforcement and a concrete of about 75 mm thick. And suppose it is a commercial structure, then there may be a slightly more thickness may be required because of the loading or footfall area or public area, depending upon the load requirements. This is what we were talking about insulation and internal boarding, which we have earlier talked about, that how insulation brings in better insulation properties at the time of cold and hot weather. So this is rock wool is normally being used in wall areas, and after that internal boarding is done, uh, and then jointing and finishing is being done, and then you can do the normal painting on the top of that. These are all door openings and all you can provide whichever doors are required, aluminium, UPVC, or even wooden doors also. But nowadays again UPVC is taking um, uh, more and more people are adopting to UPVC because again it is factory made. Normally, once your framing is done, your opening is ready. People generally just take the size. They just take few days to come up with their from the factory. They are all assembled and just come and place it. No woodwork required, no polishing required, nothing. And if you see the inside of the buildings, toilet fixtures, lot many people have questions about how toilet fixtures is being done. Everything same. There is no change in that some very high-fi or special requirements are required while in this construction. So you can place your toilets, whether it is floor mounted, even wall mounted can be done. Like in wall mounted, you need to provide for small niche wall inside in the back of that, so that you can accommodate for more thicker sections of sewage lines and those lines. These are some of the finished buildings uh, which has been done in India itself, and this is staff housing NTPC Kudgi. This project was done way back in 2013-14. So 10 years, almost 8 to 9 years back. So again, the purpose of this building, the main constraint was it was a greenfield project of NTPC. So they wanted to have a construction done at a very fast pace for their staff, because you know the normally thermal power projects are not constructed nearby to the cities. They are very far off. Now, if you see, I have talked about revenue generation and the cost of return. You know, they had to had staff coming as far as about 50 kilometers for the project site from the nearby city. So they have to have people staying over there on rent. People have to have their on. They have to have transportation system. So putting all together, when they had done the cost analysis and they thought of instead of going for regular civil construction, they will go for this type of technology so that they can have they can reduce the cost of accommodation and transportation for their key staff. Of course, later on, whatever colony they have to make it, they can decide upon whichever way they want to make it, whether with this technology or irregular construction, depending upon their own budget. But initially, they, for the critical staff, major staff, they provided this type of housing so that they can save on the overall cost of the. Again, this is staff housing, OPGC, Orissa Power Generation Corporation, Orissa. There also the same issue of staff accommodation, transportation. So this particular place is Jharsuguda in Orissa. So there again, when they did the cost benefit analysis, they could able to easily found out that, so this is the technology where we can adopt, and then it will be better later on. Once we have a regular construction, we can have that also and use this also as a our staff housing and for any project expansion. In this particular case, there was a project expansion going on in their own plant, but they have the shortage of housing to accommodate the staff which were required for the expansion. So they had a very good colony requirement as per the different type of quarters like type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, everything. And they have their own mess facilities. It was a small kind of a small township they have made over here. This was staff housing, POSCO. It was almost 10 years back. Again, the challenge was they wanted within 6 months because they wanted to have their project running, and whatever their key staff which was used to come as for the running of the plant and their instrumentation and everything, and they have few people who also has to be joined as a new staff. So they wanted construction to be such that, and this was done with the help of Korean this factory building. So they wanted some kind of a construction, and they were already using it there in their own country. So they adopted this technology and they welcomed it. And the construction was done in 5 to 6 months for their staff to come and accommodate and start the facilities of their factory. This is ONGC India, somewhere in southern part, Ramnad. It is very near to the sea. So in the length and breadth of the India, the projects has been done now. If we see the southern part where the coastal winds are there, and not only coastal winds, coastal areas are very prone to the corrosion zones. So there also these kind of technologies has been adopted, and they have been done for their staff work on staff for their staff. This is in by the GMR HP. They had hydropower project going on there. Here only thing is small change they adopted in their construction is, and all the outer walls, if you see, outer walls and of course roof, normally metal roofs are provided, but here they have provided the metal walls also, metal sheet on the wall also, because normally in hilly areas sometimes due to landslides or from the upper ridges, some boulders or some small stones or something like comes and hit the building. So steel at least gives better protection then fiber cement board. So they provided these all their units with the metal sheets, covered with the metal sheets. I was talking about rooftop building. This is a rooftop badminton court in Bangalore. Again, sometimes it becomes necessity to use steel structures. The story behind this building is the builder who has constructed this ground plus 11-story building has promised their all these flat owners that we will be providing you a common place where it can be used as a multi-purpose hall, whether for your uh, small functions or some kind of badminton or facilities. On the rooftop, they could able to provide a swimming pool, but providing this again was a constraint because they cannot go for permanent construction because the FAR has been totally exhausted. They cannot go for the permanent construction. And heavy steel taking up to G plus 11 and in the running building again it was a challenge. So, and on the ground, there was not enough space where they can construct this kind of area. And definitely, if they could have made it, the height was such that about 25 feet, that it could have easily infringed the air and sun rays to the some of the house owners. So they called for these kind of technologies. They took a lot of research and done for a lot many months, and then only they could able to zero in this technology when we made assurance to them that this is the only technology which can be suitable for their project. This is a rooftop extension of school in Vasant Kunj, Delhi. Now, if you see, this was done in the a gap of 2 to 3 months. When in the March the school session ends, and again they have a new session starting from June. Since it was a small only classes 1 to 5, so they have 3 months leverage period. But they started planning for this in the month of January that we wanted to have this kind of extension on the rooftop, and which technology can give us the leverage to do it in 2 months. So when they zeroed on to this technology, so when the school was closed for their holidays, and the planning was done in February, March itself. So they handed over in April and April, May. By the time of new session in June, they were ready with these type of classes. So it was all done. This is a rooftop extension in Hospital Gurgaon, Artemis Hospital. This is the portion where they have done extension, one whole unit of ICU rooms and few of the CCU rooms also. So again, the challenge was same. Now they have the leverage to do one more construction, but there was no space to put crane, no space to put such type of material. So here what happens is they could able to only provide on the back of the building. There was a parking area where they could only able to provide a small space to have the crane. So what happens is in this, every night trailer used to come with steel material and they are lifted directly to the rooftop. Very few material are kept on the ground so that in daytime, if any of the material is required, they can do the work. Normally, very rare daytime groundwork was done. Groundwork was done mainly on the top of the construction area where there was actual construction was going on. Again, this is one of the rooftop construction. These are IIT hostels, IIT Mandi. Again, this is a government project, PWD project taken up by Himachal government. But IIT being it's a directly comes under central government. You know what happened? government wanted to open a IIT in Mandi. It was again almost 8 to 9 years back, when they have only 9 months, 9 to 10 months to period to open it, or otherwise they could have shifted by another 1 year if they have gone for regular construction. So they thought of what kind of construction we have to do it so that we can have the college running, and side by side we can do other construction also, and these structures can be still be used for their whole lifetime. So they again adopted these kind of technology. Few of these structures were done hybrid, where mainframe was done with hot rolled, and partitions were done with the light gauge steel and hostels, and these structures are still surviving and it is being used by the staff over there. These are few application areas. Admin block can be done, farmhouses can be done. Uh, like opportunities are everywhere. Any construction can be done using these type of technologies. There is no place where we cannot adopt these kind of technologies. Villas, individual villas. It is very common in foreign countries. Slowly it is coming up in India also. In hilly areas, many people who are making their second home, or many of the bigger developers who are developing second home in the hilly areas or outskirts of the major cities. They are providing these kind of villas to their customers. So just have a look, relook at the specifications what we have seen in this overall construction, and then after a few slides we'll take up some questions from the audience. Foundation. Foundation is simple. Again, RCC plus brickwork, whatever it suits. Only thing is building height of G+1, G+2, only ground floor does not require very deeper excavation to be done. They can be very, if the ground support is good, ground compaction is good, or you can do the very well ground compaction and then do the small platform, and then structure can be made on that. Now superstructure walls. These are cold form light gauge steel 0.75 mm to 2 mm with mineral wool insulation inside, 8 mm fiber cement board plus 12.5 gypsum board on interior wall, 9 mm heavy duty fiber cement board on exterior wall with choice of other finishes over heavy duty fiber cement board. Now this is not just restricted to this. You can go for anything. Even outside, over the top of heavy duty fiber cement board, you can go for other type of finishing also. You can provide other insulation type of finishings also. Even you can have some kind of special fascias also. Like in hill areas, people love to have small stone face or something like that. Those can be provided. Even in fiber cement board, nowadays stone face and wooden face material is coming. They have that kind of texture that can be provided, that can be polished, painted like that. So you have a lot of choices to go for. And inside also, if you want to go for thicker of fiber cement board, instead of going for gypsum board, you can do that. You can provide, you can fix tiles on the top of that. You can provide your wallpaper on the top of that. You can provide on the top of 8 mm fiber cement board, wooden uh, framing also. So opportunities and various applications are open in this kind of technology. Only thing is, when we are doing this type of structures, we have to be very careful that very heavy load design should not come later on. Like heavy load in the sense, suppose you have not taken care of granite walls on the top of that. If you want to fix granite walls, you must take care of some kind of load on the top of cold form steel, so that while fixing those, your material does not get deformed. Your frame does not get deformed due to the sudden implication of the heavy load on the structure. Of course, it can be provided very easily, and because in bathrooms, normally it is designed according to that. Because bathrooms, we are providing tiles, glazed tiles, or many places people are going for marbles also, granite also. So it all depends. However, thinner section of granite can be done because tiles load is already taken. That variations can be done. Now coming to the roof, again, sloping roof can be provided. Flat roof can also be provided as per elevation required with the metal sheets, shingles, decorative tiles, as per elevation. Whatever you want to do, it can be done. Only thing is, before designing, of course, this whole steel building design and particularly this light gauge steel building design, we have always insisted that you must have the end in mind, because all the finishing at the end what you are going to use, you must have in mind, so that when you do the backward calculations, you have all the loads, you does not come out with the some heavy duty or something like that, that later on you have to reject those uh, changes, that no, it cannot be done. Of course, minor changes are always feasible, whether you design, because minor changes are well taken care within the factor of safety factors when we do the design of the structures. Intermediate floor, deck sheeting, RCC. On the deck sheeting, you can do RCC or foam concrete, lightweight concrete, or even nowadays, instead of deck sheeting, these fiber cement boards, thicker fiber cement boards in 2 layers are also being provided. Flooring, you can choose tiles, marble, granite, wood, as per your choice. Doors, as per any type of requirements, UPVC, as we said, aluminium doors, glass doors, wood doors. Same thing with the windows. You can choose your windows also. False ceiling, as per your choice. Normally, false ceilings are being done as gypsum false ceiling, or thin sections of grid false ceiling also. And many places, lightweight wood is also being used. But nowadays, many places we have noticed this fiber cement board with the wooden texture face is being used and given the wooden finish on the top of that. Painting is again putty, interior, exterior grade of paint as per your choice. Joint fillings are being done. Electrical, as we have shown in the drawings, it can be concealed in wall through slots, and support for junction boxes are provided. Plumbing and sanitary, again concealed in wall through slots and back support as and where required. Tested before walls are closed. This is very, very important. In any case, whether it is RCC construction or whatever it is, your sanitary and plumbing are to be tested to avoid any later on leakages, so that structures, many of the times, structure gets shabby looks just because of that only. HVAC, windows, plates, centralized as per the design, whatever way. If it is bigger commercial units, of course, centralized units may come, and split units, window units can be placed at any point of time. They are not of much of weight. Wet areas, waterproofing are done before the wall tiling is done. And nowadays, companies are specifically providing waterproofing material and wall tiling fixing material for these kind of materials. Earlier, even in conventional construction also, now the choice of cement is getting reduced. They are now going for wall tiling fixing agents, which is much more durable and have better life. Now, before going into this, if you see all these areas, our item of activities have drastically reduced. If we have gone through a normal construction activities, in this particular itself, superstructure have come up with a lot many activities like RCC frame, like your brick walls, then your plastering work in the roof itself, shuttering, staging, scaffolding, exterior plastering, interior plastering, roof plastering. So if you see, all these activities have now reduced to just here these two activities. And if you go through these two activities, this makes the major impact on the construction of on the construction time itself. I will show you one example. Last year, when this pandemic has started, and everybody was looking for this COVID hospital constructions, there was a query from Mumbai. There approximately that was a plate area of 500 square meter, G+1 story they wanted to make it. And now again 500 square meter area, G+1, with design approvals, everything done together, even at the very fast pace also, it would have taken at least 4 to 5 months to come out of that. And that too, it will still remain the wet construction, because when you do lot of curings, drying process takes a lot of time. But here when we done this analysis and provided them with the solution, we took, if you see, we have taken 15 days for this, all the activities. That final design and approval, maximum 15 days. And within that 10 days will do for construction. And the procurement and fabrication of mild steel or light gauge steel, everything was done in the factories. So this was taken care in this itself before going into actual construction of the week one at the site. So the transportation of panels, here we have used Repicon panels, and it is slightly different from these kind of light gauge steel frame. But since to reduce the cost, and this Repicon panels are always ready-made available with the companies, so that is why these are being chosen for this. So again, if you see, when we started the ground floor activities, there was assembly and erection, deck sheet and shear stud fixing, erection of panels, concreting or floor slab. It is the only area where small concreting was required, or else there was small concreting in the foundation was required. Again, here we have given them the option of providing a slab on the ground itself by compacting it. Wall ceiling, flooring, doors and windows. Here again the flooring was considered, since this was a very fast track project. So PVC type of flooring was considered, which is again a very dry construction. Jointing, finishing, painting walls, everything done. So within week 5, almost at the end of the 50 days, everything was planned to deliver. So this is how these type of construction play a role in reduction of the time. Again, before summing it up, I will like to say that these structures, before going in for actual construction, because it requires a lot of planning and your all procurement processes in place, identification of the vendors and all these things. If that is done prior to the construction, then your construction time gets squeezed and squeezed and squeezed. And my experience, while I was in L&T and we were doing first phase of the metro construction, when the very first Delhi metro phase was started, you know, more emphasis was always being done on the planning of the your project. Because they say once you have done the planning very well, if you have clear about all your structure, keeping end in mind, then whenever you start the construction, it will not take much time to finish it. Everything will be done very, very fast. Everything will be done in as per the time and cost. So this shows that our major of the activities, civil construction activities, how it has impacted this construction schedule of wherever. If we make any other construction schedule, definitely because of the activities getting reduced and your civil construction activities. You say if I take right from the start, activities like foundation, if we start up to plinth, let us say both are same. But even when we start from the top, if we have to make a column, then we have to have tying of the reinforcement, then shuttering, then concreting, then we have to wait for at least 24 hours, then de-shuttering process, then do the curing, then take those shutters to other place, cleaning of the area, then put the beam shuttering, then put the scaffolding for beam shuttering, and then beam shuttering is being done. Then once all columns are ready, then beam reinforcement is tied. So if you see activity with activity, there is a sequence of activities. Very rare parallel activities you can do, like once you have gone up to the first floor and the removal of the all the scaffolding has been done, you can start with the brickwork activity. But till all these activities are in place, scaffolding is in place, shuttering is in place, you cannot do the parallel activity. So here you get the leverage of doing all the parallel activities. When you are doing the foundation, you are doing work at the factory, transportation is being done, site assembly is being done, and all the things can, once your erection is done, you are ready with your structure. I think things are very clear to you. And again, just we will conclude the benefits of this. They are earthquake resistant, better sound insulation, better wind resistance, heat prevention, durability of the structures are good, environmental conservation, because we are doing a lot of reuse of materials. Even while the making of this fiber cement board, a lot of raw material is being used as fly ash. Cement is a small component. Fly ash is being used. Paper pulp is being used. So these are to conserve your recycle the products which are available. The raw material is being your wastage. Fireproof. They are tested for fire ratings for different categories, like from 30 minutes to 2 hours to even 3 hours, 4 hours also, according to the requirements. Energy conservations are there because of better insulation properties, better insulation. You can have HVAC load get reduced in the building, lesser electricity bills, less labor cost. Of course, slightly there is a material cost is high, but when we go for the mass construction and better turnaround, that gets even cost effective also. Less construction time. You can very well see wherever there you need some rehabilitation projects with respect to the economically weaker sections, or whether to be make way for some other projects. These are the viable options. So with this, we can say that light gauge steel frame buildings are much have the benefits. Of course, with this light gauge steel, overall steel buildings with the hybrid construction, composite construction, they are now getting picking up very fast pace. Lot many buildings are going in Delhi NCR itself. Only thing is you have to just keep an open eye. You might have seen very heavy steel construction in bridges and all these things, mostly ROBs, railway over bridges, and all these things, because there is a compulsion sometimes. So now go for these type of buildings, also promote these kind of buildings. And there are business opportunities also. Why we are showing these business opportunities and requirements here? Because, you know, you never know, people who want to do something in life, who want to promote these kind of technologies, sometimes face barriers that whether this will be a real solution or not, until and unless you get a confidence, unless you get lot of support materials. So industry size is very huge. It is increasing exponentially for residential by using hybrid technology. Their civil contractors are collaborating with technology provider, so they then get the know-how of the technology. You need not have to put these machines immediately. You can outsource from the market. Just like in civil construction, a contractor does not put up a crusher plant. Only they sometimes put up a batching plant for the concrete mixing, but not the crusher plant. Crusher plants are only being placed when it is a very, very huge requirement. So for these kind of materials, there are a lot of suppliers are there in the market. So you can make them as a technology provider. They will design, they will provide the whole frame structure, and all finishing items can be done by the civil contractor because they know it. Other requirements of government agency like registering company, labor license, these are a very common thing which a normal contractor always do it, and they have to do it who is entering in new into this construction. JV consortium formation can be done. Qualification criteria in government as per tender requirement. Now even government, if for these type of particular buildings, they are to promote these type of buildings for small projects. They are providing opportunities to contractors if they have done privately some work like this to their qualification criteria with respect to the financial terms. They are allowing them to quote for their tenders. Pan India, there are already around 10-15 manufacturers. More are also coming up in India, and this market is growing. So even as a academia, definitely you must be exposing yourself to the market also, so you can promote these type of activities also. So future is steel. For more information and everything, you can always have a conversation with me anytime. Always feel free. I am always for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Priyanka and Vikas sir.
Hello. Yes, sir. So it's really a very wonderful session. Is anybody having any questions? Participants?
My request to participants is, even if you have any kind of question, of course,
Sir, I think nobody is having
here
any questions.
okay, Mother, in terms of some
Hello.
how construction or something, some doubt or queries, they can ask. No problem. I will try to see if I can answer your queries. It can be any question. It can be.
Please ask
Don't
if
Your
you have any
voice is
query.
not.
don't worry about the quality or question. Doesn't matter. It is only thing is a question should be there.
Please ask if you have any question in your mind. Dubey sir, Mukesh Dubey sir, are you here? I think he must be busy.
He must be busy with his
Homework. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he is taking interest in all the sessions. He is always asking questions. He is always trying to understand
Yeah.
the things. Priyanka, anyone?
Sir, all the audience are from your own college or
No, sir. From all over India, sir. All over India.
all over
This is a
India?
faculty development program. It is sponsored by AICT, All India Council for Technical Education.
Okay.
And now they are approving they have approved this time 1,000 workshops. Faculty development program.
Okay.
So in the online mode,
Okay.
they are sponsoring it.
So anyway,
Under Atal Mission.
even if people are not having doubt right now, anytime if they are requiring any sort of help or something like that, they want to go for these kind of technologies or promote these kind of technologies to their channel partners in their area, to the entrepreneurs. So we are always welcoming them, and we also welcome on the similar lines. I have explained earlier also that we are providing training facilities to the your outgoing students final year, and not even that, to the right from the start of when they do actually enter into civil engineering semester. So they get the basic confidence of going into the construction industry, because I have seen very high attrition rate in the uh, students when they enter into the construction, and they feel jittery about that, because about 2012 to 2014, I have also been as a guest faculty in Manav Rachna University, Faridabad. Uh, so there I was exposed to, and I wanted to share my knowledge, and I have got this uh, feedback from the students from there.
Absolutely right, sir. You're absolutely right. Number of students are studying nowadays, but their basics are not clear. And in this online mode, things are now worst, because students, they didn't do any experiment into the laboratory. In the online mode, there is no meaning of any experiment.
No,
They are
no,
not
that's
knowing.
not that. That is why only escape route is if you get some kind of knowledge. Either a student is proactive, or
Yes.
then it will be very good. Otherwise, if they are not proactive, then only thing is they need some kind of mentorship or something like that. Then only it can happen.
Yes, sir. Truly right. Because I am also observing students, they are not able to very, very simple things, because they are not doing working hard. They are not working hard, and they are not studying. They are just appearing into the interview without revising anything.
But one
So
thing
any,
I will like to appreciate, sir, our Mukesh Dubey, sir. He has in UPES, they have a program of for final year students for grooming sessions before they actually appear for the interview.
yes, sir. True. I was
Because of
also in
this
UPS.
pandemic, because of the pandemic, they could not able to hold last year. Last year when I was there, I found it very interesting, and I found it very like beneficial for the students. And I think that model should be adopted by the people, by the academy of other colleges also, and industry professionals should be brought to give them more knowledge, more practical exposure, so that when they go for actual interview, that becomes a mock-up interview for them.
Yes, sir. So I have also planned, sir, for the mock-up interview round. And last year, actually, due to Corona, we were not able to do that. And our first batch was in final year. So we were not able to do that. And luckily, one good thing is that what we have done, I have sent all the students for the 6-month internship, 2-month internship to all the industries. Luckily, I am having good network. A person like you, Mukesh Dubey, they are helping me to send my students in the industry. And now my students all the students got industrial exposure. At least they are knowing about the procedure of industry, working of industry. Otherwise, so theory will not work.
Right. Very good. Very good.
So I don't think anybody is having any question. Maybe because your session is among the last session, because after that only one session is remaining.
Okay.
Sir, if
No,
you will
actually,
get some
it is
time.
basically more. It is more related to practical things, and more relevant to the industry. So even once again, I will request all the people who are attending this program, whenever they are having any sort of queries, it is immaterial now. Sometimes what happens, you don't have queries right now, but sometimes query crop up later on also. that based on this, so they can always come up with the queries anytime. My number has already been shared in the PPT, so they might have they noted it down, or else they can contact you and take my email ID and number. They can anytime contact. So
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, if you
Thank you.
have some time at 3:30, kindly join valedictory function. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor will be there. Yesterday he had joined, Dr. Tankeshwar.
Okay,
If
great.
I have sent the link, already provided the link for the valedictory. If you get some time, so kindly join.
Sure, sir, sure.
And so thank you so much, sir, for the very good session, elaborative session, knowledgeable session from the industry point of view. I also heard not all the slides or not all the session because I was busy in some work due to the validity function. But whatever I heard, it was really eye-opening session. So thank you so much. And we will remain in touch with you, sir. And we will
Thank you,
also
sir.
invite
Thank
you
you.
in future.
I will
Maybe
share you.
physical
I
mode.
will share my PPT. I will share my PPT with you
Please,
so
sir,
that
please. I will send it
so
to
that you
participants
can-
because some of the
Yes.
participants are demanding, and because I have not asked from any expert to share their PPTs, so I don't have. But if yours, I will share with the participants.
No, I will share it. No issues.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
sir.
I
Thank
will
you
also
so much.
invite you.
So nice of you.
I will also invite you in your university whenever this Corona pandemic is over. Then surely I will call you.
Sure, sir.
I will
Sure, sir.
request you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your session, sir.